Hi, I am Yuki, and today I will be your storyteller. Make yourself comfortable and we'll get right on it. The scene that unfolds in this chapter is truly brutal and intense. It shows the harsh reality of survival in the prehistoric world, where every creature is fighting for their own existence. The main character's narration sets the tone perfectly, conveying the bleak and unforgiving nature of this world. We see what looks like a very badly injured dinosaur getting attacked by a much smaller dinosaur. The injured dinosaur goes down. May the dinosaur rest in peace. The main character seems to be narrating. He says that everything hates you, everything wants to stomp you into the ground, and everything tell you there is no point in fighting back to survive. But that is when you start fighting back the hardest. We see a baby orange dinosaur. From now on, he will be known as Orange, sniffing the wound on the dead dinosaur, when suddenly another baby dinosaur bites his way out of the dead corpse, scaring the shit out of the orange one. As the second dinosaur, which will from now be known as Blue, slowly breaks free, blood gushing out of the hole that Blue created while trying to bite his way out of the body. While getting out, he groans and asks Orange whether or not they are gone. Orange, ignoring what the blood-covered Blue asked him, he rather wants his own curiosity filled first, and asks Blue how he even got inside the corpse. Blue, looking towards the sky, replies, saying that he chewed his way through. Orange, once again, can't seem to even hold back his curiosity. Wanting confirmation on a matter, he asks Bloody Blue if he is a savvy. Blue looks at Orange with a confused look. Orange understood the situation and tells Bloody Blue that when he says savvy, he beams savages, saying that Blue is a bone biter, a savage that are known for being able to easily bite through bone. He asks Blue if Blue likes eating meat. Blue talks about how he thinks bone biter is not a very nice thing to call him, but accepts it anyways. Orange, hearing that Blue confirmed that he is bone biter, he goes apeshit and starts shouting. This angers Blue. He calls Orange a moron and tells him to be quit, or the posers, the pterodactyls in the sky, will hear Orange. It's fascinating how the author created their own names for the different types of dinosaurs, like the bone biter and the spy. This shows how the author has done their research and is knowledgeable about the prehistoric creatures. Orange tells Blue that he understands. Looking up says that they are still up in the sky. Orange tells Blue how he has never been so close to a baby savvy before, and that this exciting to meet him. Orange tells Blue that he is not bad, except for the fact how badly they smell, questioning for how long did Blue hide inside the fella's douche. Too long! Blue tells Orange that he will be heading home, and Orange might want to run right about now. Hearing this, Orange asking why, is he scared? He then tells Blue if he need a place to hide. And he gone. You will not be forgotten, Orange. Snap. And there goes Orange's life. Man's bones were snaped in half. After one toke Orange, two other pterodactyls dive towards Blue. Seeing this, Blue sprints. The pterodactyl slowly narrowed the gap between the two. As Blue was about to be grabbed, he quickly dodged to the right. This caught the pterodactyl off guard, causing it to lose balance and ragdoll. The pterodactyl curses at Blue, telling him, "Fuck you, Blue." Nervously, Blue swallows his saliva. The two of them go around in circles like them old Western cowboy movies. Suddenly, Blue notices a Triceratops. This gave him an idea. Blue rushed towards the Triceratops and used his face as a wall to redirect his momentum towards the pterodactyl's neck, killing the spy. Seeing this, the baby Triceratops starts to laugh, saying murdered him. Not a second later, the pterodactyl managed to grab Blue and run away. An unconscious Blue wakes up to see that has been caught by a pterodactyl, the same one that captured and killed Orange. The pterodactyl notices that Blue woke up. Blue insulting and commanding the pterodactyl to put him down, to which the pterodactyl replies, telling Blue that he would release him until after he meets the pterodactyl's kids. As they reach the pterodactyl's nest, we see that she has 7 children. She first releases Orange's dead body for the babies to eat, which they menacingly tear apart as the blood splatters everywhere. After they devour Orange, the pterodactyl releases Blue, stating that they will love the taste of him. As the baby pterodactyls were about to dig in, Blue tell them all that they can only blame their own mother for what will happen next. As the sun began to set over the prehistoric land, the sound of screeching filled the air as Darbi, the blue dinosaur, as the baby pterodactyls were about to dig in, Blue quickly came up with a plan. He waited for the perfect moment and then made his move. With a sudden burst of energy, went on a rampage with his fierce claws and powerful jaw. The green baby pterodactyl never stood a chance as Darby's teeth sank into its neck, ripping off the wing with one powerful swipe. Blood spurted out of the wound, painting the ground red. The ocean blue pterodactyl tried to fly away, but Darby was too quick. He caught it with his tail, deeply scratching its eye and neck. The orange pterodactyl thought it could escape by hiding in the group, but Darby wasn't fooled. With a vicious bite, he tore off the left side of its stomach, leaving it to die a painful death. But Darby wasn't finished yet. In a cruel and heartless act, he threw the dead body of one of the pterodactyls onto the mother, hitting her on the stomach and causing her to stumble backwards. The body of the dead pterodactyl slipped down and hit the head of a purple brachiosaurus who had been peacefully grazing nearby. The brachiosaurus, now agitated and angered by the attack on the pterodactyls, let out a loud roar of disapproval. "How dare you!" it bellowed, its voice shaking the ground beneath them. Seeing what has happened, the mother pterodactyl shouts at Darby, calling him a little mongrel bastard. Darby, not backing out, insults the pterodactyl back. Hearing this, the mother pterodactyl does for the offense. As the battle between the mother pterodactyl and Darby ensued, the skies were filled with loud screeches and flapping of wings. The two creatures were engaged in a fierce and deadly struggle, with both determined to come out on top. As the mother pterodactyl lands on the nest, Darbi immediately attacks her right arm, making the mother pterodactyl screech in pain. Darby then proceeds to scratch and tear her wing while trying to climb up, but due to his tiny arms, he fails in doing so. Seeing the opportunity, the pterodactyl uses her long beak to remove bite. Darby, as the mother pterodactyl sinks her sharp beak into Darby's flesh, the young pterodactyl lets out a blood-curdling scream of agony. His tiny body convulses with pain as the powerful jaws of the mother tighten around his neck, crushing his windpipe and causing blood to spurt from his wounds. Darby, being as persistent as he is, will not die so easily. He gets up and tears the pterodactyl's tongue. As she is screaming in pain, she slips on one of the bloody bodies of her children, causing her to fall of the nest. She falls onto the purple brachiosaurus, which angers him even more, while the other light green brachiosaurus in the background feels bad for his friend. The purple brachiosaurus throws the pterodactyl off his body and turns around to face her. Darby, who seems to have also fallen with her, slips off farther away from her body. The purple brachiosaurus tells the mother pterodactyl that he has had enough of her bullshit, and his brachiosaurus family support him. The purple brachiosaurus asks the pterodactyl if she shit on him. It seems that the brachiosaurus thought that the dead body of her child was just her shitting. The purple brachiosaurus, whose name seems to be Dom, is told that he should just crush her guts by his buddies. The pterodactyl's cries of pain only further fueled Dom's anger. He misunderstood her screams as laughter and asked her if she found the situation amusing. His friend urged him on, telling him to crush her before she could cause any more trouble, asking her if what she has done is funny. Dom's friend again tells him to get it over with by just crushing her guts. The Brachiosaurus family had always been peaceful creatures, but the recent actions of the pterodactyl mother had been pushing their patience to the brink. They had tolerated her behavior for long enough, but now it was time to take a stand. Dom, the purple Brachiosaurus, had had enough and was determined to confront the pterodactyl about her action. He then asked if she was going to try to mock him in front of his herd. In front of his family, he could feel his anger boiling over. And again, his friend shouts from the back to crush her guts. Finally, Dom snapped. He took his friend's advice and began to crush the pterodactyl, ignoring her pleas for mercy. As he squeezed tighter and tighter, the pterodactyl's body began to break and contort under the immense pressure. Suddenly, While this is all happening for some unknown reason, the one who encouraged him to crush her turned into a car horn honking in traffic. Despite her injuries, the pterodactyl still had one last plea for help. She reached out to Darbi, begging him to save her, but it was too late. As Dom's grip tightened, the pterodactyl's eyeball popped out of its socket, her skull shattered into pieces, and blood sprayed out in every direction, raining down upon the surrounding brachiosauruses and Darbi. Darbi, covered in the pterodactyl's blood, turned away from the gruesome scene. As he walked away, he couldn't help but insult the nameless mother pterodactyl one last time, calling her a fucking loser. The brachiosauruses stood behind him, their eyes filled with a mixture of shock and satisfaction, knowing that they had finally put an end to the pterodactyl's reign of terror. We then see Darbi walking through different biomes for the rest of the day, even after the sun had set, walking through different herds of dinosaurs. Finally, he reaches his destination. He slowly peeks out of a bus while whispering to someone named Pete. A red-colored bone-eater suddenly pops his up saying hello to Darbi. It seems he is Pete. Pete tells Darbi that he smells like a tail ass, exactly what Orange had told him. May he rest in peace. Well, pieces after those pterodactyls devoured him. Darbi tells him that he already knows. Pete asks Darbi where has he been all day, to which Darbi tells him that he took a shortcut, which turned into a long cut than expected. He then switched the subject, focusing on the pack mother, worried if she had gotten angry when he was gone, to which Pete tells him nah, saying that she knew he would come back. Darbi tells Pete that he just wants to sleep till he forgets everything that happened today. Pete teases Darbi by asking if his so-called shortcut was just him getting lost in the killing fields again. Darbi embarrassingly admits it, and Pete's adds how they call him the dumbass when Darbi does shit like this. The chapter ends with them laying down with their pack mother and getting a good night's rest. We will continue this story soon. In the meanwhile, you can choose from this exciting stories. See you there!